Have you ever wondered how many thoughts we make in a day? We get close to 70,000 thoughts per day. That could be related to our past, present, or future. And 95% of them are repetitive. And most of these repetitive thoughts are negative. So now you can imagine what's happening with us at mental level, emotional, and even physical level. Has your head ever been filled with one single thought or a string of thoughts that just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating themselves? This process of continuously thinking about the same thoughts, which tend to be sad or dark, is called rumination. It can drastically affect your emotional health, your mental health, and even physical health because our energy follows thoughts. According to the Mental Health Foundation, rumination along with self-blame have long been accepted as part of the problems that can lead to depression and anxiety, the two most common mental health problems in most of the countries. That is the main cause of almost all of our diseases. Hello and welcome, my dear friends. You are tuned to my show Heal and Win, the Healers Podcast. My name is Amit Kriplani and I am on my mission to help you all identify the hidden healing powers within you because I believe everyone is a healer. Before we continue further, please note down that the new episodes of this podcast would be released every alternate Sundays. Let me ask you a question. Why it happens that we are not mentally ready to accept the new or unknown dimensions of our life easily? In my view, it's generally because we are mostly surrounded by our own fears and are reluctant to come out of our own comfort shell. We always tend to opt for easier options, isn't it? It mainly happens because of our own beliefs and thoughts. Let me share an interesting story with you. There once was this criminal who had committed a crime. Hey, you must be thinking what I'm saying. That's what criminals do. That's their job, isn't it? Anyways, he was sent to the king for his punishment. The king told him he had a choice of two punishments. First, he could be hung by a rope, or second, take what's behind the big, dark, scary, mysterious iron door. The criminal quickly decided on the rope. As the rope was being slipped on him, he turned to the king and asked, "By the way, king, out of curiosity, I want to know what's behind that door." The king laughed and said, "You know, my dear friend, it's funny. I offer everyone the same choice and nearly everyone picks the rope." "So," said the criminal, "tell me please what's behind the door. Anyways, I'm not going to tell anyone," he said, pointing to the noose around his neck. The king then paused and answered, "Freedom." You would agree, my dear friends, that most of the people are so afraid of the unknowns that they immediately take the rope. Yes, unfortunately, too many of us live our lives choosing the familiarity of our rope. That could be familiar pains, familiar struggles, familiar patterns, but there is something hidden in unknowns that we miss on exploring. We are a planet full of folks walking around with metaphysical ropes around our necks, wondering why we feel a bit emotionally and spiritually dead to the world around us. Okay, let me ask you a question. In recent times, if something like this has happened to you, maybe today, yesterday, or during the week or month, has your heart been beating very fast? Maybe it feels irregular? Has your breath been very fast? Does your muscles feel weak? Do you sweat a lot? Does your stomach churns or your bowels feel loose? Do you find it hard to concentrate on anything? Do you feel dizzy? Having sleepless nights? Do you feel frozen to the spot? Are you not able to eat properly? Do you get a dry mouth? Do you get very tense muscles? And in fact, if you are getting thoughts like, I'm such a loser, I'm in a bad mood most of the time, or I just don't feel like doing anything, that means, my dear friends, you have become a prey to rumination. A habit of rumination can be dangerous to your mental health, as it can prolong or intensify depression, as well as impair your ability to think and process emotions. It may also cause you to feel isolated and can in reality push people away. And if you are surrounded by any of these feelings, it means that your energy levels are highly affected. As I mentioned earlier, my dear friends, that energy follows thoughts. So surely, my dear friends, it's time for you to mind your thoughts and control the same and start taking the right action to change them. Even psychologists say that a bit of self-reflection can be a good thing. But just how serious can it get when introspection goes awry and thoughts get stuck on repeat, playing over and over in the mind? Science and the research tells us that 77% of us in society are showing physical symptoms of stress. You would agree, my dear friends, that the human mind is an extremely complex machine, and it's generally accepted by professionals in this field that there is no single cause for depression and anxiety. But some factors have more impact than others. Some of the studies have found that traumatic life events such as abuse or childhood bullying have been the biggest cause of anxiety and depression when dwelled upon. And it is followed by family history, income and education, and then relationship status and social inclusion. But these didn't merely cause depression and anxiety. The most important way in which these things led to depression and anxiety was by leading a person to ruminate and blame themselves for the problem. And that ultimately leads to stress. Even in Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, it is said that wrong thinking is the only problem in life. Though we all know that Bhagavad Gita also gives us various solutions to our life problems. Well, rumination is sometimes referred to as a silent mental health problem because its impact is often underestimated. But it plays a big part in anything from obsessive compulsive disorder to eating disorders. Thus, it drills down to the fact that our body is really the product of our thoughts. And these thoughts determine our energy levels because we know our energy follows thoughts. Einstein has also said that everything is energy. But don't you think reverse is also true? That is, energy is everything. It depends on us, how it flows through us and how we manage it. We all know that stress begins with one negative thought. One thought that went unchecked, and then more thoughts came and more until stress manifested. The effect is stress, but the cause was negative thinking, isn't it? And it all began with one little negative thought, and this in turn manifests illness. Our physiology creates disease to give us feedback, to let us know we have an imbalanced perspective or we are not being loving and grateful. Based on various studies, it has been observed that people who don't ruminate or blame themselves for their difficulties have much lower levels of depression and anxiety, even if they had experienced many negative events in their lives. I think you must have read the most popular book, The Secret. And in that book, Dr. D. Martini has told that love and gratitude will dissolve all negativity in our lives, no matter what form it has taken. Love and gratitude can part seas, move mountains, and create miracles. Love and gratitude can dissolve any disease. So, how it all works? We all know that universe is a masterpiece of abundance. When you open yourself to feel the abundance of the universe, you will experience the wonder, joy, bliss, and all the great things that the universe has for you. That is good health, good wealth, good relationship, good nature, and whatnot. And this list goes on and on and on. But when you shut yourself off with negative thoughts, you will feel the discomfort, you will feel the aches, agony, and you will feel as if every day is painful to get through. Thus, my dear friends, you would agree that positive thinking that generates love and gratitude is the true form of healing. Healing through mind can work harmoniously, even with medicines. If pain is involved, medicine could help to eliminate that pain temporarily. But thinking perfect health is something anybody can do privately, within themselves, no matter what is happening around you. And that is the power of positive thoughts. So, my dear friends, what can you do to stop these obsessive thoughts from running through your mind? Because our thoughts will decide whether we become victim or victor. My dear friends, let me share 6 simple tips that you can adopt to control rumination. Firstly, make sure that your mornings are miraculous, because morning routines work as a framework for the productive and fruitful day. Thus, it's just absolutely essential. Turn over your anxieties to God in surrender and have some time for yourself in the morning. Even one of the authors named Rebecca Leon has beautifully written in her book Rhythms of Renewal that when we begin our days by spending time with God, it brings healing. There's no script, no race, no rules. There is only peace, courage, and strength for the day and life ahead. And with my personal experience too, my dear friends, I can vouch for it that how morning prayers, physical exercises, mindful breathing, sun bathing, meditation, reading, gratitude has healed me big time. Second tip to get rid of such thoughts is start loving yourself. Just start loving yourself, because when you love yourself, you will be able to share love. What's inside you come out. So, feel love inside. In fact, it's already in you. You just need to make a conscious effort to bring it in yourself. Because to fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness, as rightly mentioned by Robert Morley. Whenever you are ruminating, look around you. Quickly choose something else to do and don't give it a second thought. Maybe you can consider calling a friend or family member. You all would agree, my dear friends, that they are our bigger healers. Start doing some chores around your house. Watch a movie probably, or even draw a picture. And the best thing probably is you can read a book. We all know that books are our true friends. Another important step that you can follow is plan to take some action. Instead of repeating the same negative thoughts over and over again, take that thought and make a plan to take action to address it. In your head, outline each step you need to take to address the problem, or write it down. I think that's best on a piece of paper. Be as specific as possible and also realistic with your expectations. Doing this will surely disrupt your rumination. It will also help you move forward in the attempt to get a negative thought out of your head once and for all. And then take action. Because once you have outlined a plan of action to address your ruminating thoughts, you should begin with one small step to address the issue. Refer to the plan you have made to solve the problem you have been obsessing over. Move forward with each step slowly and incrementally until your mind is put at peace. Because, as rightly said by Dalai Lama, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Mind it, my dear friends, it comes from your own actions. Next thing you need to do is readjust your life's goal whenever it is required. Because perfectionism and unrealistic goal setting can lead to rumination. If you set goals that are unrealistic, you may start to focus on why and how you haven't reached a goal or what you should have done to achieve it. Setting more realistic goals that you are capable of achieving can reduce the risk of overthinking your own actions. And then, to set all the things in order, start meditating. Because meditation can reduce rumination, as it involves decluttering your mind to arrive at an emotionally calm state. When you find yourself with a repeating loop of thoughts in your mind, seek out a quiet place, sit down comfortably, breathe deeply, and focus on nothing but breathing. Last but not the least, the best thing you can do is laugh aloud. Yes, my dear friends, confuse your ruminating thoughts by laughing aloud. And the brilliant fact is, our body doesn't understand the difference between the genuine laugh or the cosmetic laugh. So, find some time to laugh with your friends, with your family, and be a healer. Hey, my dear friends, start noticing your thoughts starting today and control the same before they start controlling you and affect your health. Do not overstress, take it easy and go with the flow. In fact, if you have any story where you have healed yourself using any of such techniques and got the victory over pains, feel free to share the same with me at healandwin.ak@gmail.com. I would be delighted to share such stories and learnings out of it with all my listeners in the upcoming episodes. If you think that the time spent listening to this podcast today has added some value to your life, share the podcast link with your friends and family members so that they can also get little benefit out of it, because sharing is caring. And this way, you will join my movement of healing all around us. Thank you for listening, my dear friends, and keep smiling until we meet again in my next episode. Stay blessed and keep spreading love and happiness to heal yourself and others. And yes, if you want to share your views, comments, expectations, or have any specific questions, feel free to drop me an email at healandwin.ak@gmail.com. Well, keep sharing your love and blessings by subscribing to my podcast by clicking the follow button on the page so that you don't miss my new episodes. With love, your friend and healer Amit Kriplani signing off. Sayonara.